welcome to Early Beginnings for Lifelong Mental Health. I'm Dr. Justine Pavlikevich. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and a mental health practitioner. I'm also a professor at the City University of New York within the Human Services Department and the Disability Studies. I'm also a board member here at Freedom from Fear. I have our website up on the screen there. It's www.freedomfromfear.org. It has lots of information about anxiety, depression, mental health, children, families, and other types of stories that I'm sure you'll enjoy. So check it out, please. Okay, today's workshop number 4 is body and mind. So one of the things that we're going to look at, how do symptoms affect the body? What do our coping skills and how do they work? What are the relaxation exercises? And why is it important that the caretaker be part of the process? So let's take a peek. So how do symptoms affect the body? What we do know is that emotions are cognitive. So cognitive meaning thoughts or play a part within emotions, and they also can be physical. So they show up within our body. So a few of the things I've listed here is heart racing. Sometimes people worry about a heart attack, their throat closing, they're choking, they feel faint, dizzy, weak, tense muscles. Also, people can feel like they have butterflies in their stomach, or dry mouth, or sometimes even an increase in saliva. Poor concentration can certainly happen if someone's having some anxiety, depression, or under some stress. Headaches, nausea, and tingling sensations in the body can occur. And sometimes with something like post-traumatic stress, sometimes people have flashbacks to the situation that caused the trauma. Okay, so how do coping skills work? It's real important that we take a look at this. They are tools that a person can refer and use in a distressful situation or, say, over a period of time of distress. Coping skills, they don't always require the person to know why they're having that certain feeling. So sometimes when you say, why are you feeling this way? A lot of times people cannot identify at that time why they're having that distress or why it is occurring or what their feelings are. Sometimes you need to kind of walk away from the situation for a while before one can identify the whole picture of what's happening. And also, but coping skills can still be used even though we don't know the answers. Coping skills can also be practiced in advance. I know it's not the actual situation that the person is going through, but sometimes it's just good to have your toolbox ready. And the more tools in your toolbox, the more successful you'll be, and you and your child will also benefit. So one can also change their negative or distressing thoughts in order to manage their feelings. This is a very important tool. And also a coping tool will allow a person to realize that they are in control of their emotions and their thoughts. Sometimes we say, that person made me feel this way. Well, we are in control of our thoughts and our emotions. They're all natural, but not necessarily are they always helpful to us. So we have to learn how to manage them. Cognitive behavioral therapy is a technique that uses these tools to manage feelings and thoughts. And it also can include relaxation techniques as well as tackling those irrational thoughts that can lead children to distress. So what are relaxation exercises? Let's kind of start with that. Well, one of the first things that happens is you got to have attention to your breathing. Sometimes when someone is having a panic or anxiety attack, one of the best things to do is start that breathing. But the breath, when they start it, will be because they're going through this panic distress, and you'll see eventually the breathing will return to normal. Also, sometimes you can continue the relaxation with relaxing parts of the body. A lot of times relaxation can include some sort of visualization segment, like, for example, I might say, put yourself on the beach and feel the warmth of the sun, or choose a calm place that you'd like to go to in your mind. Okay? You always want to end relaxation with a slow resuming of that activity. So, for example, once the relaxation is finished, you don't want to get up and hurry up and go do something else. Sometimes when I do relaxation with people, I do it at the end of a session, and I ask them to leave the session quietly, even without saying goodbye to me, so that they still get that aura of relaxation. So, if we look at the breathing, what we're looking at is, again, I've explained this in the other workshop, but put your hand on your heart, and one on your stomach, and begin to breathe nice and easy. And what happens is with the breathing, the more one is quiet and pays attention to the rise of their stomach, slowly up and down, slow breathing, they will find that their thoughts will go towards the breathing and not towards the stress that they are encountering. Now this may take a while, but they'll go towards that. When I talk about relaxation of the body parts, what I do is begin to say, okay, relax your head. Relax, say, parts of your neck. Your neck has been holding up your head for such a long time now. So you go through each part of the body and you relax it. And you can start at the head or the feet, doesn't matter. A lot of times if someone is sitting down or they're on a bed or on a floor, what I'll say is, okay, relax your back. Let the muscles in your back relax. Let the tenseness go from your back. Feel like your back is sinking into the floor. So you go through body parts. I did include in your handout relaxation exercises that you can do specifically with your child. Okay. Why is it important that you be part of the process? Because if you're going to do the coping skills, your child may also be more apt to do them. We can't ask children to do what we won't do ourselves. And also, while you're doing some of the coping skills, you can share your own experience with your child and some of the tools you may have even used prior. And you can normalize things for your child as well. You can also help the child to figure out which tools work, which don't, and you can adapt them as needed. Because some tools work for others, sometimes you may need to change some of the parts of the tools. Caretakers can always be the child's cheerleader. You know, as your child acquires new coping skills or manages pieces of it. So you need to be your child's cheerleader. How can you be the cheerleader if you don't know what's going on and even the many little successes that your child might be having? And you can also remind your child to use these tools, you know, at ASAP or let's say before a situation or event. And caretakers need to be the voice and explain when the child needs to use a certain tool so others will understand. Like sometimes your child may need to do something in school that makes them feel a little better, so the teacher needs to know, the principal needs to know these things. And caretakers can also help make the process more successful. So how can you assist? You can do some work at home. So the first thing is have your child identify areas of the body where they feel their emotions, or let's say they feel their stress. In your handout I have included this part of the body. And what we do is sometimes I did this with kids and they say, you know, I feel butterflies in my stomach, so we draw butterflies. I feel a headache coming on sometimes when I'm under stress. You know, my muscles feel tired. So we use this as a way of children often identifying physically what they're feeling in the body. So this is in your handout. Also, practice some of the relaxation exercises with your child in the disc that I have provided you. They're great little stories that your child is going to love. And they're very short. Also, be your child's cheerleader this week. Think about that twice. Think about the little successes that your child is doing as they are putting some of these coping skills into play. So, until I see you on the next workshop, all the best to you and your family.